I've done several posts during this stretch of what we're doing with YouTube, um, not only talking about product, but talking about relationships. Um, and I want to venture into another one. Uh, and I'll start it off by saying you notice that I wear a particular cap all the time. And I like it because it has a horse on it as part of the trucking company logo. And I have horses. But there's something more to it because you see, I spent a lot of time on the road and uh, 300,000 miles probably on I 80 between Cincinnati and Utah at one stretch. And now it's between Cincinnati and Virginia. And um, over that time, over 15 years, I've made several friends with um, people who drive trucks. Um, and I'll tell you right now, you would be amazed at how smart some of those people are and how helpful some of those people are. And over more recent time, uh, I've come to appreciate more of what uh, those who are not held in high esteem do. Um, so if I catch workers at rest stops who take care of them, and Lord knows I can only imagine the messes they have to deal with. I express my gratitude for the work that they do, um, and on more than one occasion, I've actually given them a tip, money. It might be $5 or $10 to reward them as part of my appreciation for what they do. And I talk about this because um, I've seen situations where people who uh, do the most simple things are actually very important. Um, Years ago, uh, I was towing my parents' car to South Carolina on a U-Haul trailer, and uh, it got a flat tire. And so we went through the protocol of finally getting someone out there. And the guy who came bundling down the highway um, was a good old Tennessee boy, a young man. And as I say, I finally got to meet an honest to God Ernest. And Ernest had been roughed up in life. He was truly a country boy, and um, but he took one look at my situation and recognized one that they told him the wrong tires, but he also noticed that more than one tire was going to go. So he took the initiative to bring back more tires so that I could complete my journey safely rather than being, um, 100 miles down the road and in the same fix. And these people are really important and they really need the respect. And so in the case of Ernest, I asked him, how many kids do you have? And I guess maybe Ernest was in his maybe early 30s. And, he already had 6 kids. So he had his hands full already. So I gave him $50. I said, here, take the family out and enjoy an ice cream together. Because Ernest was working hard, but um, he cared. And so, you know, I've had the pleasure of meeting people like that. By training, I'm a corporate attorney, and I did huge dollar takeovers. And in today's dollars, it would be hundreds of millions of dollars. And while those people are important in their ways, um, everyone is essentially important in their own way, and they're not more important than others. Um, I have trouble when uh, someone is elevated to such a high position that it really ignores everybody in the whole process that made that all possible. And I think that the magic word is called gratitude. And, if someone does something that means something to you, express your gratitude for it. And it doesn't have to be, some sort of world beating event, or, it can be something very simple, but in their doing it for everybody, it is very important. And so take your time to express the, the things that are done for you. And it's not specifically for you, it might be for everybody, but they're doing something that few people might not want to do. And as I say, I happily wear a trucker's cap. Um, and yes, when I go to truck stops, I'll sit down and have meals with them. Um, when I lived in the Cincinnati area, there were a couple truck stops down at in Kentucky that I would make a point on let's say like Thanksgiving Day. I did this a few times. I would go down there and find a guy or a gal sitting by themselves, and I had my kids with me, and we would sit down and have a meal with them, and I would pay for their meal because here they are out on the road, away from their family. They can't particularly feel good about that, but they're doing what they need to do to take care of their loved ones. And it was no big deal off my back, but it may or may not have meant a lot to them. Um, a young man on the Ohio Turnpike, when I gave him a tip, he was just stunned that somebody even expressed appreciation for um, probably he thought was um, a menial type of work. And um, there really isn't something that's menial. It's all essential one way or another. So I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate the things that everybody does, and to encourage you to do the same.